1973 is when reggae stopped being a local rumor and started sounding like a world language. You can hear the switch click, tougher bass lines, deeper message, voices that cut through tin roof heat and late night radio static. In these 15 songs, the music stretches from yard dances to UK record shops, from Nyabingi heartbeat to early dub experiments, from sweet lovers to hard roots. You'll meet a young Dennis Brown soaring over a westbound train, Toots turning funk into a Kingston handshake, the heptones dropping pure wisdom, and a rising wailers camp writing a chant that would echo around the planet. This isn't just a playlist, it's a year in motion. Singers sharpening truth, DJs finding new pockets, producers discovering space as an instrument. By the time we reach number 1, a simple chorus becomes a global call to stand up. Where were you when reggae first grabbed you? On a hand-me-down, 7-inch, a sound system night, or a Sunday radio show? Tell me your 1973 memory below. Then let's count down the top 15 reggae songs of 1973 we'll never forget.
Now I'm just lonely, so.
Warm, velvet vocals over a steady rocker's pulse. This is Ken Booth turning simple heartbreak into something you can dance to. The magic is how he phrases around the beat. A little push here, a sigh there, and suddenly, a straightforward love song feels like late-night confession.
Missing you. Oh, darling.
1973 is a key year for Booth. He's moving from pure Rocksteady roots into the richer soul reggae blend that would soon make him a UK chart force. Missing You sits right in that transition. Clean arrangement, big feeling, no wasted notes. Question: when you think of Ken Booth, do you hear the singer first or the rhythm section that lift him?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
You're making me blue. I tried my best.
Before Channel 1 turned them into international root stars, the Diamonds were already sharpening their blend. Tabby's plaintive lead, Bunny and Judge weaving harmonies that feel both church pure and streetwise. Shame and Pride is early 70s JS songwriting at its finest.
No, you didn't understand.
Clear melody, tight groove, and a lyric you can live by. It's also part of their origin story. The group's first Jamaican hit, proof that their harmony science could carry a single on its own.
Shame and pride is killing you.
You can hear the seeds of right time here. Message, melody, and movement working together. Question: what's the line in this song that still hits you as plain truth?
So long, Rastafari.
The heartbeat of Nyabingi leads, horns answer like elders, and the drum circle becomes a sermon. On Ground Nation, Count Ossie and the Mystic Revelation show reggae's spiritual backbone in full color. African rhythms, deep chants, and jazz-wise arrangements that stretch the form without breaking it. So Long, Rastafari Calling isn't just a track. It's a ritual on record, the sound of community holding its center while the world shifts. If roots reggae is a tree, this is the ground it grows from. Question: do you play this sitting still with eyes closed or standing, letting the drums move your feet? Turn the faders into instruments. Make the studio a spaceship. That's the Lee Scratch Perry way. Blackboard jungle dub is one of the foundation texts of dub. Drums and bass up front, vocals ghosting in and out, spring reverb and echo carving new space inside familiar rhythms. On Blackboard jungle dub, you can practically see the engineer's hands. Drop the snare, splash the delay, hold the bass till it rattles the zinc roof. From here, reggae production becomes adventure. Question: what's your favorite moment in this mix? The bass drop, the sudden silence, or the echo that keeps ringing after the bar?
When you do that, that should be great.
A DJ steps to the mic and turns the version into a movie. Big Youth's talk-sing style, half grin, half warning, rides a tough rhythm while he sketches characters, calls out themes, and makes the street feel present in your speaker. Jamaican listeners got it first in '72, but the Trojan issue in '73 pushed the record into wider ears, and suddenly toasting wasn't just party hype, it was a voice of the culture.
Baby, that you would appreciate.
Screaming Target is raw, funny, fearless, and it still sounds alive. Question: which DJ from the '70s took this style the furthest for you? Big Youth, you Roy, I Roy, or someone else? A voice like mist over warm asphalt. Horace Andy floats above a spare Studio One rhythm. Bass walking steady, guitar clipping the offbeat. Organ swells like a church door opening. What makes this record special is the calm. He isn't pushing, he's gliding, and the band leaves him space to breathe. You can hear the bridge between Rocksteady sweetness and deeper roots feeling. Tenderness carried on a trance-like groove. It's also a blueprint for the next 20 years of lovers' leaning roots. Intimate, echo-kissed, and honest. Put this on late at night and the room gets softer. Put it on loud and you notice the craft in the drums and bass. Question: when you listen, do you focus on the bass line anchoring the song, or Horace's featherlight phrasing floating over it?
But all I have is love.
Before the world called him the cool ruler, Gregory was already perfecting that half smile, half sigh style. Romantic, but never weak. All I Have Is Love is a young singer's statement of purpose. The lyric is simple, the melody is gentle, and the performance is pure poise.
Darling, all I have is.
The rhythm is classic early 70s JA. Drums tucked in, bass carrying the melody, guitar skank like a metronome you can dance to. Listen for how Gregory leans behind the beat, then snaps back into the pocket on the hook. That's the grace he became famous for.
Before, but all I have is.
This record also shows the island's shift towards smoother, more soulful production. What UK audiences would later call lovers rock. Question: which part hits you hardest? The easy glide of the chorus, or the little turns in Gregory's voice when he reaches for a promise?
Must forward and start anew.
Max Romeo sings like a truth teller on a street corner. Bright tone, sly bite. No Joshua No drops you right into the political air of early 70s Jamaica, when songs talk back to leaders and the dance carried the news. The groove is lean and direct. The bass steps forward, the drums leave pockets, and Max threads his message through the gaps.
The jungle youth man shout out, lion! The older men.
He's not just chanting a slogan, he's weighing hope against caution, putting character and politics in the same frame. You don't need a history book to feel the tension. It's sitting in the hi-hat and the clipped guitar stabs.
Rasta is watching and blaming.
This is roots thinking before the big international crossover. Sharp, local, and unforgettable. Question: when you hear this, do you catch the politics first, or the way the rhythm section keeps everything cool while the lyric burns. Early burning spear is a ceremony. The beat is deliberate, the chords are few, and Winston Rodney's voice lands like drum strokes, steady, grave, and purposeful. Ethiopians live it out, centers on identity and endurance. A chant more than a chorus, a meditation more than a verse.
Live it out, Syrian come. They couldn't live it out, white men.
The magic is in the repetition. Spear and the musicians circle the groove until it becomes a path, and you feel the chant working on you, line by line.
Oh, Chinese men come.
This track also shows how Studio One could sound both rough and holy at the same time. Dry drums, round bass, and a little room echo that turns the song into a small tempo. Question: do you let this one play in the background while you drift? Or do you close your eyes and follow every drum hit like footsteps? Chris Christopherson's country ballad walks into a Kingston studio wearing a tux. John Holt turns it into velvet. Strings sweeping, rhythm section whispering, vocal effortless and warm. On 1000 Volts of Holt, this track became the calling card for a new kind of crossover. Reggae pulse wrapped in lush orchestration. And you can hear why it crushed UK living rooms and sound system lawns alike. Holt sings adult feelings with zero fuss. Desire, comfort, vulnerability, all carried on a graceful skank. If roots is the ground, this is the candlelight on the porch. Inviting, classy, still 100% Jamaican in the bones. Question: when this comes on, do you lean into the orchestral gloss or the steady one drop underneath that keeps your head nodding?
Survive. Then together we fight.
This is the sound of a man pushing through a hard season with his head up. The groove walks, steady bass, clipped guitar, tight drums, while Jimmy Cliff sings with that warm, fearless tone that made him an international voice after the harder they come.
No time to lose. I'm a struggling man.
What makes struggling man powerful is how plain it is. No fancy, just everyday truth. You wake up, you push, you fail, you try again. The melody keeps lifting even when the words are heavy, and the band answers him with little bursts of light, horns that smile, organ that comforts, a chorus that feels like neighbors joining in. It's roots music with open arms, telling you the struggle is real, but not the end of the story. Question: when you hear this, do you think of a personal fight you survived, or does it make you think about the people around you who kept you going?
I say music is what I've got, baby, and I gotta find some way to make it.
Before anyone wrote essays about fusion, Toots just did it. Funky Kingston is a handshake between Stax Grit and Kingston Swing. Deep pocket drumming, rubbery bass, bright horns, and Toots' voice. Half preacher, half soul shouter, throwing sparks. The verses are pure uplift. The chorus is a street parade, and the band slides in little funk turns without ever losing the one-drop heartbeat. You can hear why this track opened doors in the UK and the US. It felt familiar to soul fans and brand new to everyone else.
Funky, funky, funky. A funky gangster.
And at the center is Toots, laughing inside the lines, driving the groove like a band leader on a hot stage. This is what people mean when they say reggae has joy built in. Question: are you here for the horn stabs and hand claps? Or for that moment when Toots leans on a word and the whole song rises?
This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles: VIP, Top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe. Roots and lovers. Rock made easy. Automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore. Classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore. Feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves. Punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise cancelling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. The heptones take everyday wisdom, born from an old poem many Jamaicans knew by heart, and sing it over a gentle rock-steady to roots groove. The lead is tender, the harmonies are silky, and every line lands like advice from a trusted elder. Nothing in the arrangement shouts, it glows. Bass and drums make a calm path. Acoustic guitar brushes the edges, and the organ breathes under the chorus. It's one of those songs that feels like home the first rules and your company well. Question: what line from Book of Rules would you pass on to a younger listener who's just finding reggae?
Love must end. You'll never ever see me again.
Here comes the Crown Prince, still young but already a master of tone and timing. Westbound Train moves like its title, rolling, confident, unstoppable. The vocal rides the rhythm with ease, little slides into notes, soft drops at the ends of lines, a hook that lands sweet and sure.
Must end. You'll never ever see me again, my friend.
Under him, the band keeps everything skanking and locked, with a bass line that hums like an engine and guitar chops that mark time like tracks under steel. It's lover's emotion wrapped in roots muscle, a perfect balance Dennis Brown would refine through the decade.
Our love must end. You'll never ever see me again.
You can dance to it, fall in love to it, or just stare out a window while life speeds by. Question: what hits you first? The humming bass engine, or the way Dennis stretches a note until it feels like sunlight?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Don't give up the fight. Don't give up.
A chant, a warning, a lesson, a promise. Get up, stand up doesn't waste a second. The guitar skank is sharp, the drums are dry and direct, the bass walks with purpose, and the voices push you forward. Marley and Tosh trade lines like two sides of the same fire, one inviting, one insistent.
The fight. Don't give up the fight.
The lyric is simple on purpose, built to travel from yard dances to stadiums to marches around the world. It teaches without preaching, naming the tricks of false comfort, and then calling you to act. Musically, it's lean and fierce. No extra flourishes, just a groove that keeps your feet moving as your mind wakes up.
Don't give up the fight, no. Don't give up the fight.
This is the moment reggae stops being a local sound and becomes a universal language for dignity. Question: when that chorus hits, do you hear it as a memory of the 70s or as a message that still fits the world you live in today? If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this. Bass gets wiser, and reggae finds a voice the whole world can hear. This is the year street corners turn into studios and message meets melody, protest you can dance to, love songs with backbone, and new sounds that change how records feel. In this countdown, we're tracing 15 songs we'll never forget. From rebel anthems that raised fists to sweet crooners that held hearts. From melodica lines floating like smoke to DJ toasts that made the mic a weapon. You'll hear singers leveling with you about faith, struggle, and joy. Bands tightening the groove until the room starts to move without thinking. Producers carving space so every drum hit lands like truth. If you grew up on these 45s, welcome home. If you're new, this is your map to 1973. Simple, powerful, unforgettable. Quick question before we roll. Which one song from 73 would you save if your whole collection disappeared? Drop your pick, hit subscribe, and let's start the journey. 15 to 1. And hear why these records still matter every time the needle drops.
Look what you've done to me now.
A master singer telling a simple truth. Love hurts. Delroy's voice is soft but steady, floating over a gentle rhythm that never rushes. The guitars clip the offbeat, the organ warms the middle, and the bass moves like a slow heartbeat.
Get along somehow.
It's not a big protest song or a party anthem. It's everyday life put on wax. In 1973, records like this showed how reggae could carry adult feelings with grace. No shouting, no tricks, just a man standing in the storm and keeping his dignity. When you're heartbroken, do you reach for quiet songs like this or loud tunes to drown it out?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
A melodica leads the way like a lighthouse in fog. Cassava piece is simple on the surface. Drums and bass locked in, a few guitar chops, and that ghostly lead line. But it changed how reggae could feel. The melody circles back on itself until your mind sinks into the groove. Suddenly you're hearing space as music. Instrumentals like this open the door for dub and the rockers mood to take over the mid-70s. It's calm, hypnotic, and somehow spiritual without saying a word. Do you hear this more as a song or as a mood? And where would you play it? Headphones at night or big speakers in a room?
All the things that I gave to you.
Harmony like polished wood, message like a mirror. The diamonds don't rush the chorus. They lift it, hold it, and let you sit with the words. The rhythm section is patient and sure, giving their three voices the air to shine. This is Roots with Manners, strong, moral, and beautifully sung. In a year when reggae was getting tougher and deeper, shame and pride proved you could bring conscience and sweetness to the same table. Are you more moved by tight vocal harmonies or a heavy bass line? Which one carries a song for you?
Standing on the corner with his wheel of the brave. A winner sees the better than the...
A DJ as street reporter. I Roy toasts with a calm authority, half wisecrack, half headline. sliding across the rhythm like he's been practicing in your living room. He doesn't crowd the track, he uses the space, dropping lines right where the drums leave room.
Hear what I say, and leave the corner and run away.
The effect is a conversation with the beat, a style that turned the mic into a tool for commentary, not just hype. In 1973, this sound helped define what the DJ could be. A sharp mind riding a steady groove. When you spin classic DJ cuts, who do you reach for first? I Roy, you Roy, Big Youth, or someone else entirely?
Everybody's there.
A floor filler with a grin. The pioneers bring bright harmonies, a walking bass, and a hook that waves you onto the dance floor. You can picture the scene: colored lights, polished shoes, and a crowd moving in unison to that easy rolling skank. It's part reggae, part pop invitation. Proof the sound could live on UK radio and in Jamaican dance halls at the same time. Not every great record needs fire and thunder. Sometimes all you want is a tune that makes strangers feel like friends.
Go where the action is. That's where the in crowd.
If you were DJing a 1973 set, would you drop this early to warm the room or late to keep people smiling on the way out?
And I said every day, every nigga.
Title song to a 1973 Jamaican film, but really a statement of pride wrapped in velvet. The arrangement is lush, strings, horns, and a bass line that walks like it's showing you around Kingston at golden hour. Boris sings with calm authority, turning a charged phrase into affirmation. Dignity, visibility, worth. In '73, this felt like a mirror held up to black audiences at home and abroad. Decades later, producers would sample it to reconnect with the root idea, but the original still does the work. Gentle, confident, unforgettable.
Every nigga is a star.
When a reggae track carries a heavy message in a soft arrangement, does that make it hit harder for you? Or do you prefer a rougher sound? Playful, ferocious, and strangely elegant, only Perry could make a tune that growls and grins at the same time. You get those upsetter horns punching bright lines, a springy organ skank, and Scratch's ad-libbed roars woven into the echo like he's conducting a cartoon jungle from the control room. It's dub thinking inside a sing-along tune, space, surprise, and personality as instruments. Jungle Lion shows how the Black Ark vibe could be mischievous, not just mystical. What's your favorite personality moment in a Scratch production? The roar here, a muttered line, or a sudden echo trick? Bill Withers' Melancholy, reborn with island air. Horace doesn't oversing, he floats. The drums are dry and close, the bass is patient, and the guitar chops leave breathable room for that unmistakable feather-light voice. By holding back, he makes the sadness feel bigger, like empty streets after rain. Covers can be gimmicks. This one is a translation. It teaches how reggae can carry soul's ache without losing its own heartbeat. Which reggae cover does it best for you? Keeps the original feeling but changes the weather of the song? This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials, headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low end. plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s, 90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise cancelling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. Lovers style grace before the term took over UK radio. Holt takes a Bee Gees melody and warms it with strings, gentle percussion, and that satin tenor that made him a household name. The tempo is unhurried, coffee and sunlight pacing, and the chorus lifts like a curtain.
In the morning, it's the morning.
What's special is balance, island rhythm under an orchestral hug. In 1973, this sound pointed toward the smoother, crossover lane reggae would soon dominate, especially in Britain. If you were building a lover's hour, where would you place this? Opening scene, center slow dance, or last song of the night?
Yeah, the change you've made in me.
Strength in softness. Booth's voice has steel in the center and velvet at the edges. He leans into a mid-tempo skank and turns a promise into a pledge. The rhythm section is tidy, the organ whispers, and the harmonies arrive exactly when your ear wants them.
As you would chance with me.
It's not showy, it's certain. Records like this made Ken Boothe the bridge between deep JA soul and the later UK chart run, proof that a singer could be tender without losing power. When you think of Ken Booth's best moments, do you go for this early 70s elegance or the later big UK hits?
Who means the world to me?
A promise set to a heartbeat. Gregory sings like he's speaking directly to one person in a quiet room. No tricks, no strain, just that silky tenor telling the truth. The rhythm is unhurried, bass stepping softly, guitar clipping the offbeat, drums leaving air so every word lands.
Who means the world to me?
This is the moment Lover's style found its center. Romance without sugar, devotion without drama. In 1973, songs like this showed how reggae could be intimate and grown, not just dance floor fire. You don't just hear it, you lean into it. If you were building a first slow dance playlist, does this make your top 5? And what would you pair it with next?
I'll be taking the strain, I'll be taking the westbound train.
A young voice, already royal, riding the rails of a perfect groove. The drums march, the bass rolls like steel wheels, and Dennis delivers a melody you can hum after one chorus. It's part travel song, part love letter, part dream of opportunity, and he sings it with open window hope.
No, you'll never ever see me too.
You can hear why people called him the Crown Prince. Tone like warm light, phrasing that feels effortless, soul baked right into the skank. Put this on and the room brightens. It's reggae as forward motion. What's the first Dennis Brown song that made you a believer, and where were you when it clicked? Harmony as wisdom. The heptones take a simple moral idea, how we live, build, and share, and turn it into a chorus that feels like community singing. The bass is patient, the organ glows, and those 3 voices rise and fall like a single instrument. It's roots with manners, reflective, tuneful, easy to sing along with, but carrying weight. In a year when reggae was getting tougher, this record proved that gentleness could be powerful too. You don't just move to it, you measure yourself by it. When a reggae tune carries a moral message, do you prefer it sung in harmonies like this, or spoken plain by a single voice? The church, the dance, and the street in one shout. Toots comes in like a band leader and a preacher, gravel and honey, over a rhythm section that struts. The guitars are clipped and bright, the horns punch, and the groove says, all tribes welcome. Soul and funk live inside the reggae pulse here, not on top of it. That blend made this cut a passport record, opening doors far beyond Jamaica. When Toots says funky, he means spirit and sweat, the kind that lifts a room without asking. If you were explaining Toots to a new listener with one track, this, Pressure Drop, or 5446, which would you choose and why?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Don't give up the fight.
A chant sharpened into a chorus, built to travel. The drums stay steady, the bass plants its feet, and the guitars flicker like signal fires, while Marley leads a crowd from quiet anger to open defiance.
Give up the fight. Don't give up the fight.
The verses are plain speech, no metaphors needed. Then the hook arrives like a banner you can actually hold. It's protest that moves the body and clears the mind. A blueprint for how reggae carries truth without losing the groove.
Don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight.
Decades on, it still feels current because the beat is calm and the message is not. When you put this on today, what hits first? The rhythm that refuses to panic, or the words that refuse to back down? If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.
Open your eyes and you will see.
1970s reggae didn't just make hits, it made near misses that tell the real story. Labels pushed the wrong singles. Great tunes were banned, mislabeled, or lost in distribution. Some experiments, disco reggae crossovers, pop covers, missed the charts, while stone-cold masterpieces slipped by with zero radio. That's what we're digging into tonight. 15 reggae misfires you forgot. Records that should have landed, didn't, and now sound sharper than ever. Across this countdown you'll hear a Marley one-off cut before the island era, Tosh aiming at the dance floor, Perry's heavy 12 built for sound systems not radio, a congos classic trapped by label drama, and UK roots anthems that owned the specialist shops but never cracked the pop lists. We'll break down why they missed back then, timing, politics, marketing, and why they matter now. The rhythms producers kept versioning, the singers who defined lovers and roots, and the tracks collectors still hunt. Quick question before we roll. Which reggae misfire do you think deserved a second shot, and why? Drop your pick in the comments, hit subscribe for more deep dives, and let's set the record straight. Let's start at 15. A prayer turned into a groove. Yimma's gun draws on Amharic language and Rastafari faith. Let him be praised. And you can hear that devotion in every line. The harmony is tight, the bass walks like a pilgrim, and the drums keep a steady, unhurried step. This is roots reggae at its most dignified. No rush, no gimmicks, just message and melody. So why a misfire? Because outside of specialist shops and sound systems, it didn't travel the way it should have. No big pop radio push, no flashy marketing, just a beautiful record that lived mainly with people who were already listening closely.
Yes, we can.
Today, it feels like an anchor, a reminder that some of the strongest 1970s sides were built for conscience first and charts second. When you think of roots reggae, do you want the songs to preach softly like this? Or do you prefer the more militant, hard-hitting cuts?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
She said,
A heart speaking straight to history. Junior Byles sings like someone writing a letter to his ancestors. Clear words, steady rhythm, and a melody you carry long after the needle lifts. The arrangement is spare enough to let the lyric breathe. A longing for home, dignity, and self-knowledge.
"Let's go today. They can stop us, come what may. A time
Commercially, it never broke through the way lighter party tunes did. But listen close and you'll hear the future of roots. Gentle, thoughtful, unshakable.
I get a you. How did I stray?"
In the 1970s, the singles that tested well on radio were often love songs or novelty cuts. A song this direct about identity and place asked for deeper listening than the market rewarded at the time.
Time shall come for you and I. She bowed her head and cried.
That's what makes it a misfire, not because it failed artistically, but because the world didn't stop to hear it. If you were building a message reggae starter pack for a friend, does this make the first 5? And what would you put beside it? The title says it all. The Maytals' harmonies slide over a patient groove, while the bass keeps repeating the same hard truth. Bills don't sleep. It's humble, human, and built for everyday people. In dance halls, this kind of tune lands. Everybody knows the feeling.
Money is the only answer, yeah.
On mainstream charts, though, it rarely did. It wasn't glossy enough for pop playlists, and it didn't have a novelty hook. What it had, and still has, is honesty. A working-class anthem dressed in clean guitar chops and a comforting melody.
The only problem, yes.
As a misfire, it shows how the market can miss the point. Real life doesn't always test well, but it lasts. What other reggae songs about real-life struggle hit you hardest, and why?
Said who feels it no.
The Black Ark sound as a living organism. Prince Jazzbo toasts with a grin, stepping between jokes, jabs, and rhythmic callouts while the rhythm lopes forward under that unmistakable studio haze. You can almost see Lee, Scratch, Perry turning knobs, making the drums breathe and the echoes wink. It's playful, but it's also a lesson in space. The band leaves room for the DJ's voice to dance. Why didn't it fly higher? Because this was sound system science more than radio candy. It thrived in yards and at late-night sessions, not on daytime playlists.
Him don't do a skylark for him no say it's sick love. Yeah, Lord have mercy.
A misfire, only if you measure success by chart paper. By culture, it's a keeper. When you reach for 1970s DJ cuts, are you Team Jazzbo? Or do you go straight to Big Youth, I Roy or You Roy first?
But now is the time for Jah to reign. Yeah.
A steady step toward reverence. The in crowd, known for easy rolling grooves, lean into a roots message here. Tight rhythm guitar, warm organ, and a vocal that lifts like morning light. It's not flashy, it's faithful. In record shop terms, that meant loyal buyers, but limited crossover.
The time for Jah to reign. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No scandal, no gimmick, Just a strong band delivering a spiritual tune in a crowded market. As a misfire, it's the quiet kind. The single that should have stuck around longer but slipped between louder trends. Listen now and the balance feels perfect. Songcraft up front, rhythm section unbothered, conviction calmly shining through. If you were programming a late-night root set, would you put this before or after a heavyweight like Burning Spear? What's the right mood flow?
And if we're getting anywhere, we have to move.
A singer with a warm baritone steps into a storm. The groove is mid-tempo and steady. Guitar chanks tucked under a quietly insistent bass line, but the lyric aims higher than party talk. It weighs leaders, power, against the people's everyday dignity, glory, at a time when Jamaica was tense and tired of violence.
To know a possibility.
You can hear the courage in Ernie's delivery. Not angry, not pleading, just firm. As a record, it had everything you'd want for longevity. Melody you can hum, rhythm that rolls, and a message that still scans.
Violence and crime is commonplace in this.
As a misfire, it ran into politics, nervous programmers, and the simple truth that heavy songs don't always get light rotation. Today it sounds like a postcard from the heart of the decade. Beautiful, brave, and bigger than the charts that ignored it.
Violence and crime is commonplace in.
If you were producing this in 1976, would you soften the message to get radio play, or keep it exactly as is and risk the cold shoulder? A testimony set to a stepper's pulse. The drum pattern marches forward, the bass locks tight, and Alimentado rides the rhythm like a man with a mission. The voice is grainy and direct. The chorus is a creed. This is Roots Reggae, a survival manual, turning pain into purpose and purpose into rhythm. Why a misfire? Because it was built for sound systems and believers, not for daytime playlists. It spread hand to hand, selector to selector, then crossed the ocean as a cult favorite rather than a chart single. But listen with fresh ears and you'll hear what DJs heard then. Clarity, uplift, and a groove that never lets the feet forget the message. When a tune carries hard truth, do you prefer the mix raw and street level like this, or polished for wider ears? And bold idea, recast a soul landmark as reggae. The Cimarrons keep the original's sense of weight. Long lines, air between the phrases, while giving it a rolling, tide-like skank. The drums are dry, the guitars are clipped, and the harmonies float with almost choral poise. As art, it's fascinating. A dialogue between Kingston rhythm language and Philly soul storytelling. As commerce, it confused some listeners. Too reverent to be novelty, too somber to be pop. It never took off beyond specialist circles. Yet the cut shows how serious the UK reggae bands were about songcraft, not just rhythm. You can hear future lovers' rock textures, future dub restraint, and the confidence to tackle big American repertoire without parody. Do you think reggae covers should reinvent the whole feel? Or keep the original's mood and just change the heartbeat? This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end. Plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise cancelling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Baby, after tonight. Baby, after tonight.
London Studio Finesse meets Roots Heartbeat. Dennis Bovell's fingerprints are everywhere. Bass deep but controlled, guitars clean and close, percussion like soft rain. The vocal is intimate, half confessional, half promise, and the band plays with the patience of craftsmen who trust the song.
Won't you swim to me?
It seemed poised for a crossover. It had warmth, romance, and radio-friendly structure. Why didn't it rise? Timing and lanes. UK radio still treated reggae as occasional seasoning, and more flamboyant singles hogged attention. After Tonight is The Quiet Keeper, the record you put on at 2 a.m. and realize it's been perfect for the last 3 minutes. A misfire on paper, a small classic in practice.
Baby, after tonight.
If you were sequencing a late night set, would you slide this before or after a lover's rock staple like Silly Games? And why? A curious crossroads, a veteran J.A. trio tackling an Elton John tune. The track leans into bounce, snappy drums, bright keys, a playful vocal that winks at the lyrics' island postcard. It's fun and well cut, and you can hear why a label might bet on it. Famous writer, catchy chorus, familiar word Jamaica, right in the title.
In Jamaica, got plenty for you and me.
But novelty is a thin bridge. Reggae heads found it cute, pop radio filed it under oddity, and the single slipped through the cracks. As a misfire, it's instructive. Even seasoned harmony groups can get lost when the marketing hook outweighs the musical center.
Jamaica, got plenty for you and me.
Still, it's a time capsule of the Trojan UK era, trying anything to connect, and sometimes missing by inches. Be honest, do reggae pop covers help open doors for the culture, or do they distract from stronger originals?
She bum, she not up on the sky. She bum, she not up on the sky.
A sound system storm that was never meant for polite radio. Cut at the Black Arc. Disco Devil is Perry, taking the Chase the Devil rhythm into deep space. Tape echo cycling like sirens. Drum and bass glued together with studio haze. Voices drifting in and out like ghosts.
She bum, she not up on the sky. She bum, she not up.
It's a 12-inch ritual, not a pop single, long, hypnotic, and built for selectors who want to hold a crowd in the pocket. That's why it misfired in the 70s charts. Too heavy, too strange, too long. But listen now, and you hear the future. Dub as architecture, not just an effect. This is where producers learn to treat the studio like a fourth band member. If you DJ, do you drop the long mix to lock the room, or a shorter version to keep casual listeners on board? The Sea as Scripture. Fisherman opens Heart of the Congos with Cedric Maytals' falsetto floating over hand drums, bass like a tide, and Lee Perry's studio sorcery. Bells, water sounds, and harmonies stacked like church windows. Spiritually, it's a pillar of roots reggae. Commercially, it got stuck in the 1977 fog. Small runs, label politics, and little radio support outside heads. A misfire, only because the world didn't hear it in time. The song's pull is patient and deep. A working man's prayer, a chant for persistence, a chorus you can hum without words. Put it on today and it feels bigger than any chart number, like a hymn you somehow always knew. When this drops, do you lead with headphones in the dark or loudspeakers so the room can breathe with it? Ladbroke Grove meets Kingston Conscience. Early Aswad play with marching drums, stern horns, and a bass line that keeps its chin up. The lyric isn't a slogan, it's a study in identity, memory, longing, and direction. UK reggae fans embraced it, but mainstream radio shrugged in 1976. Britain wasn't ready to let a heavy roots single sit beside pop. That's the misfire, not the craft, but the climate. What you hear is a band already precise and proud, carrying community news into the studio. Years later, Aswad would score pop hits. This track is the reason those later songs had weight. If you had 5 minutes to explain UK roots to a newcomer, would you start with this? Or with Steel Pulse, Matumbi, or Misty in Roots? A gleeful provocation with a big studio sheen. Released on Rolling Stones records, the single leans into a disco reggae bounce, 4-on-the-floor kick, bright guitars, and Tosh delivering herb politics with a wink and a dare. The title pun, aimed squarely at Britain's most famous address, made it memorable, but not necessarily programmable. Some stations hesitated, and the record never became the crossover the label imagined. Still, the cut shows Tosh's range, militant when he wants, mischievous when it serves, always committed to pushing reggae into new rooms. The misfire here is a lesson in marketing versus message. How far can a protest laugh travel on pop radio? If you were producing the single for radio in '79, would you double down on the disco pulse or strip it back to a raw roots mix?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
A bridge between two eras that didn't carry enough traffic, then. Recorded in London and issued as a CBS single in 1972, Reggae on Broadway finds Marley testing a soul rock crossover before the Island Records breakthrough. You can hear the intention, a cleaner drum sound, a bigger chorus, harmonies built for daytime playlists. It didn't climb the charts, but the experiment mattered. It showed Marley already thinking globally, how to keep the skank, but speak to bigger rooms, bigger stages, bigger ears. Call it a misfire, but also call it a clue. Without this try, the leap from Trenchtown to world stage might have taken longer. Do you hear this as a lost one-off, or the first draft of the stadium-size vision Marley would perfect a year later? If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.
Bright, bright sunshine.
Jamaica is restless, London is listening, and reggae is about to step out of the dance hall and into the world's headphones. This is the year a movie soundtrack turns street stories into global anthems. A Texas singer rides a Kingston groove to #1. toasters flip the mic into a new instrument, and lover-style vocals drift across rainy UK radio. In this countdown, we're not just playing records. We're tracing how 15 songs from 1972 stuck to people's lives and never let go. Who cut them, why they hit, and what they changed. If you grew up with the 45s, this is a memory lane with bass. If you're new, it's a crash course in the year reggae became impossible to ignore. What's your essential 1972 pick? JA Classic or UK crossover? Drop it below, hit subscribe, and let's start the journey. A rebel prayer set to a skank. The guitars clip the offbeat, the organ bubbles, and Jimmy Cliff sings like a man who refuses to bend. In 1972, this wasn't just a song, it was the heartbeat of a film that showed Kingston as it was, not as outsiders imagined. For many listeners outside Jamaica, this soundtrack was a doorway into reggae's world. It arrived in the UK in 1972 and in the US in early 1973, and decades later it was added to the US National Recording Registry for its cultural significance. The title track, recorded at Dynamic Sounds with Jamaica's A-list session crew, captures the grit and grace balance that made the movie a cult classic and the music a global force. Did you first meet this tune in the cinema, on the LP at home, or years later through a cover?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
It's gonna be a bright.
Sunshine after rain, carried by a gentle reggae sway. Texas-born Johnny Nash had deep ties to Jamaica's scene and brought that feel into mainstream pop with this self-written cut. When it hit US radio in 1972, the song shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and held the top spot for 4 weeks starting November 4th.
Nothing but blue sky.
The melody is as clean as glass, the groove is light on its feet, and the lyric speaks to anybody who's ever felt a weight lift. It's a perfect bridge record, pop polish with unmistakable island DNA. What's the first moment in your life you remember this playing? Family radio, a road trip, or a movie scene? The voice from the Paragon steps out front and turns devotion into a hook you can't shake. Produced by Bunny Striker Lee in 1972, Stick By Me dominated Jamaican turntables and is widely cited as the island's biggest selling single of that year.
Stick by me, I'll stick by you.
Holt's tone is silk over steel, romantic but confident, and the arrangement shows the shift from rocksteady warmth toward the smoother lover style that would define mid-70s reggae.
No one can tear us apart.
Put simply, this is foundation music for anyone who loves melody-forward reggae. If you're a Holt fan, do you go for his early rocksteady cuts or this sweeter 72 style?
You're turning my world upside down, branding me with a frown.
A London cut warning wrapped in pure bounce. British-Jamaican singer-producer Dandy Livingston wrote a lyric that feels like a letter to a lover. Beware of the devil, don't let him spoil your heart. And set it to bright horns and a tidy backbeat that made perfect sense on UK radio.
Sticking around, did I hear you say you're serious? Or did you?
The single hit number 14 on the official UK singles chart in September 1972, a sign of how deeply reggae had seeped into everyday British pop.
Did you see you got someone new? Or did you say you like the color of my shoe?
You can hear the UK scene's polish and Trojan-era confidence all over this record. Which UK reggae hits from the early 70s sit next to this on your personal playlist?
Been so true.
Strings, sweetness, and a reggae pulse built for the charts. Former Techniques vocalist Bruce Ruffin leaned into crossover craft here. Clean vocal lines over a loping rhythm with an earworm chorus that sticks. The result, a top 10 UK hit, peaking at number 9 in the summer of 1972.
I didn't know it could happen to me.
The song's blend of island groove and pop orchestration mapped a path many artists would follow as reggae's influence spread through British studios.
I'm mad about you. I'm mad.
And yes, that honeyed tenor. It's the same singer who once wrote Rocksteady harmonies with the Techniques. Do you prefer your reggae pop with lush strings like this, or raw and rough like the Sound System 45s? Cheeky, rude, and impossible to ignore. Big Six wrote a rocksteady reggae pulse with body patter that DJs couldn't always play, but the public bought in anyway. On the UK charts, it first entered in late August 1972, climbed steadily, and ultimately peaked at number 11 on the Big Shot label. An astonishing run for a record this un-radio friendly.
Pussy Blue, the name of the game is a little Bible.
It camped on the charts for months, proving that UK listeners were already tuned to Jamaican grooves, even when the lyrics were naughtier than Tea Time TV could handle. When you first heard Big Six, did you laugh at the punchlines or lock into the bass line first? A new voice for the streets. Big Youth didn't just toast. He narrated life with wit and authority, talking over a recycled foundation rhythm like a newsreader from the corner. Screaming Target rides the No No No, aka You Don't Love Me, rhythm lineage, a KC White cut that producer Gussie Clarke flipped into a 1972 DJ anthem. Recorded and released in Jamaica in '72, the LP arrived in the UK on Trojan in '73. The single's clipped drums and rubbery bass left space for Big Youth's swagger, turning everyday advice and shoutouts into poetry.
When you're doing that, look at that. When you do.
This is where the DJ became a star in his own right. What's your favorite version riding this classic rhythm? Big Youth's toast, a vocal cut, or a dub? A Prophecy in 3 minutes. Vivian Yabby U. Jackson, a devout Christian among Rastas, chanted judgment and mercy over a stark minor key groove. Released as a single in 1972, credited to Vivian Jackson and the Ralph Brothers, Conquering Lion is where his nickname and legend began. The production is raw but magnetic, voices floating like a hillside choir, drums stepping like pilgrims, horns sighing in the heat. You can hear why Roots fans call this a turning point, the moment a spiritual outsider became a Roots cornerstone. When you think Roots reggae, do you reach for studio sheen or this kind of stark devotional sound? This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials, headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise cancelling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is one button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. Drums like a heartbeat, horns like a warning. Before albums made him a global icon, Burning Spear cut a string of Studio 145s. Among them, this 1972 single, also known simply as He Prayed. It honors the heavyweight champion Joe Frazier while laying down a solemn, militant groove that would shape Spears' message music for years. Pressed on Coxsone Dodd's Ironside imprint, it's widely cited as a Jamaican hit of that year and the template for a rhythm that producers kept versioning for decades, a hymn and a march at the same time. If you had to introduce a newcomer to Burning Spear with one song, would you start here or with a later album cut? Before Island Records, before Catch a Fire broke the world open, there was this Outlier, a CBS single cut in London on April 4th, 1972, with Johnny Nash producing and Doris Troy on harmonies. It fused reggae pulse with soul rock gloss, aiming to cross Marley into UK radio. The single didn't chart high, but its existence matters. It's the bridge between the Wailers' Jamaican years and the island era, proof Marley was already thinking about how to carry reggae onto bigger stages. First released by CBS in the UK in '72, it's a fascinating snapshot of a legend mid-transition. Do you hear this as a one-off experiment, or an early clue to how Marley would reshape reggae for global ears? A DJ steps to the mic and turns the street into theater. Sidewalk Killer rides the classic Sidewalk Doctor rhythm, originated by sax great Tommy McCook, and flips it into a running commentary, jokes, boasts, quick warnings, and style. It's 1972 Jamaica, and the selector drops a version. Iroy toasts over it, working the crowd and the echo. Ruddy, Rudolph Redwood, sound system pioneer and producer, cut this take, and you can hear that sound system DNA in the way the bass leaves space for the voice. This wasn't just a single, it was proof the DJ was now a star in his own right, not just a hype man. What's your favorite Iroy line on this cut? The one you still mumble when the bass drops? A soul ballad reborn with a Jamaican heartbeat. Producer Harry J. hears Dusty Springfield's 1969 tune and asks the now generation's Jeffrey Chung to dress it in reggae. A loping bass, tight guitar chop, and Bennett's velvet phrasing. Released in 1972, it shot to #1 in Jamaica and later crossed to the UK on Blue Mountain or Island pressings, becoming a Lovers Rock foundation stone, so influential that UB40 would revisit it years later. What makes it stick isn't just the groove, it's Bennett's calm authority, a singer who sounds like she's letting you into a private conversation. Do you prefer this original reggae take, or the later UK revivals it inspired? Tender voice, iron timing. Dunkley always sang like he was talking directly to you, and here he's at his most intimate, floating over Sonia Pottinger's clean, unhurried production.
I do it in a different way from you.
First released in 1972 and included on his Presenting Errol Dunkley set for Pottinger's Gay Feet imprint, the song is deceptively simple, a bass line that strolls, guitar figures like soft rain, and a lyric about love's small adjustments. It's the bridge between Rocksteady sweetness and the lover's style that would flourish later in the decade. DJs and collectors still reach for this 45 when they want to cool down a dance without losing the vibe. If you're building a late-night reggae playlist, which Dunkley tune sits next to this one?
Yes, I am what I am.
Reggae on UK daytime radio in real time. Greyhound's third UK hit arrived in spring 1972 with an easy swing and a proudly simple chorus, I Am What I Am, that felt made for sing-alongs.
I'm happy to live till I die. I'm happy to live.
It entered the official singles chart on March 25, 1972, and peaked at number 20, spending 9 weeks on the list. Trojan's pop reggae engine was humming.
I believe in the end when the road.
What you hear is the UK studio sound tightening up around Jamaican rhythm language, crisp drum kit, bright horns, roomy vocals. It's not a sound system banger. It's a living room anthem that helped normalize reggae across Britain.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but I am what I am.
Which early 70s UK reggae single do you think best opened the door for mainstream listeners?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
I sing this little tune.
Veterans who could still surprise you. After a run of late 60s, early 70s hits, the Pioneers cut I Believe in Love for Trojan in 1972, with Sidney Crooks and Clive Crawley behind the board. The title track isn't flashy, it's steady, confident, and deeply tuneful, the kind of song that lives on because it's built to last.
Equally as strong. To them I sing this little tune.
You can hear how the trio's rocksteady schooling meets maturing reggae arrangements, close harmonies up front, rhythm section unhurried, organ warm in the middle. It capped an era for the group and showed how vocal trios could carry roots feeling without losing pop shape. If you were introducing someone to the Pioneers, would you start with their late 60s Joe Gibbs cuts? Or with this 1972 Trojan sound? If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.
Don't you ever criticize.
In the 1970s, reggae wasn't just music, it was a message, and messages got silenced. In Kingston, a state of emergency pulled songs off the air. In London, the BBC hit mute. In South Africa, censors cut whole tracks. Yet every band only made these records travel further. From Judge Dredd's Too Rude for Radio hits, to Peter Tosh daring the press with the lyrics to Legalize It, to Junior Murvin's Police and Thieves scaring broadcasters, these are the anthems they tried to bury. Today, we're counting the 15 reggae songs they banned or censored, and why they still matter. If you live for real reggae history with zero fluff, tap subscribe, and tell me, which band tune deserves justice in 2025?
Dread blew up and made I laugh. Oh look, bubbles.
Judge Dredd made a career out of sneaking adult humor into nursery rhyme sing-alongs over a reggae backbeat. Big 10 is the joke told with a straight face. Cheeky wordplay, a marching groove, and a hook you remember, even if the BBC pretended it didn't exist. The gag wasn't just the lyrics, it was the success in spite of silence.
On the fire and she burnt her. Well, it must have been too much Guinness.
Dredd's big singles were serially blacklisted by British radio, yet he still packed the charts and clubs. That contrast, ban on the air, demand on the street, captures how censorship can accidentally advertise the very thing it tries to hide.
Old Mother Riley, she got to...
Question: when a song gets banned, does it make you more curious to hear it? Or does it turn you off? Be honest.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Hey, Blue.
Big Six is the blueprint. Bawdy double entendres over a rocksteady sway, chorus built for pub singbacks, and a wink you can hear. The BBC wouldn't touch it, but the public did. Hard.
Little by blue in a ganja tree, smoking the weed.
It sold in the hundreds of thousands and sat on the UK charts for months with virtually no national airplay. A perfect case study in how subculture and word of mouth can beat gatekeepers. Listen closely, and you'll hear the sound of a rule being broken, and a market proving the rule didn't matter.
I blue stood on the burning deck, playing a game of cricket. The ball rolled up.
Question: do you think broadcasters should protect family hours, or should grown listeners decide for themselves?
White man build his house and rock.
Prince Far, whose voice sounded like a prophet cut to tape. Granite low, sermon steady. Stop the war wasn't subtle, and it wasn't meant to be. In apartheid-era South Africa, straight talk like this ran straight into the censors.
Dream that's rolling through my heart.
The track's plea and its militancy were enough to get it shut out of state-controlled playlists, part of a larger pattern where anti-apartheid songs, Jamaican, South African, and beyond, were filtered, fined, or forbidden. The ban didn't erase the message. It just pushed it into nighttime circuits, bootlegs, and memory. Question: when a government bans protest music, do songs lose power or gain it underground?
China for the Chinaman, Syria for...
Cliff wrote an anthem for a future many feared and many prayed for. Actual majority rule in South Africa. On paper it's simple. Call the thing what it is. Demand the thing that's fair. In practice, that clarity made censors nervous.
Freedom will not be given by the signing of a...
South Africa's state apparatus treated tracks like this as sparks near dry grass, dangerous if they spread. Cliff had long tied his art to causes, and this single fit the arc. Conscience over comfort, even if it meant being shelved by a broadcaster.
This lesson time and time again.
Question: do you hear majority rule as a time capsule, or as something still arguing with the present?
And leave our man into a bar, and this a rub up with a big...
This one wasn't yanked from radio, it was yanked from the stage. Junior Byles entered Jamaica's National Festival Song Contest with a playful double meaning. It reached the final 8, then the judges disqualified it for being suggestive. That's censorship by gatekeeping, not a police raid, just a door quietly closed before the audience can vote.
Junk and him feeling irate. He want the girl who is fat and choosy.
The irony? Byles returned the next year and nearly won. Rub Up Festival 71 survives as a sly reminder that taste committees are often the most anxious censors of all. Question: if a contest disqualifies a song for innuendo, is that protecting culture or suffocating it.
If there is a man to be blamed.
A woman's voice in a hard season. Fabienne Miranda cut Prophecy with producer Jack Ruby in the mid-70s, mixing Nyabingi Fire with plain-spoken warning. It sounded like a street sermon, steady, fearless, and aimed straight at the system. During Jamaica's 1976 state of emergency, Miranda says both major stations, JBC and RJR, barred the record under the Emergency Act. The band didn't break the tune. It pushed it into sound system nights, where selectors love the edge and the message.
People heed the call.
That's the paradox. The quieter the radio got, the louder the streets became. Question: when a song like this gets pulled from the air, do you hunt it down faster or move on?
You led them across the Red Sea when fear.
Max Romeo wrote a warning shot to power, calling out Joshua, a nickname linked to Prime Minister Michael Manley, and urging him to remember the poor. By the time the state of emergency hit in 1976, the atmosphere was tense and stations were cautious.
Rasta is watching and blaming you.
The Gleaner's music column later grouped No Joshua No among the titles banned from Jamaican airwaves in that period. It's a perfect case of how reggae worked then. Coded messages, names everyone understood, and rhythms built to carry news across the island, without a press conference.
Rasta is watching.
Question: should musicians name names in protest songs, or keep it symbolic so the message lasts longer?
But if you are in pretense, you're on the wrong side of the fence.
Bob Andy wrote in plain language about pressure building, political heat, social fear, and the sense that something could snap. Fire burning felt prophetic, and during the 1976 emergency, it landed on the wrong side of the gate.
Believe me when I tell you I'm not.
Jamaican press accounts place it among the songs banned from the air that year. Andy himself later spoke about how the era shaped the lyric. The recording is cool and controlled, which makes the warning scarier.
Another thing I saw in vision right in front of my eyes.
It's the voice of a man who's seen enough to know what's coming. Question: when you hear an older song predict chaos, does it feel like history class or a mirror? This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles: VIP, top, battle-tested essentials, headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Too far to go, not to really know.
Ernie Smith didn't take sides. He called out the fight itself. The song's core idea is simple. While leaders quarrel, the nation suffers. In 1976, that message met a wall, banned during the state of emergency, grouped with other hot titles, and followed by threats serious enough that Smith left Jamaica for years.
Not to really know just how we get in.
You can hear why the record rattled nerves. It isn't partisan, it's moral. That kind of clarity is hard to argue with, and hard to allow if your job is controlling the story. Question: do you think a song that criticizes everyone is braver, or does it risk pleasing no one? Before it became a worldwide standard, Rivers of Babylon was too Rasta for radio. Composer-singer Brent Dow recalled that the Jamaican government initially banned the track because its explicit Rastafari language, references like King Alpha and O Far I, was seen as subversive. Think about that. A psalm-based lament from a harmony trio, treated like a threat. Of course, the melody was too strong to stay buried. The song returned, moved into the Harder They Come soundtrack, and eventually circled the globe, proof that a dangerous hymn can become a national treasure.
So let the words of our mouth.
Question: when sacred language turns up in pop music, does it push you away or pull you in closer? Judge Dredd turned rude nursery rhymes into chart fire, and Big 8 kept the streak blazing. The beat is simple pub floor reggae, but the real hook is the sly, wink-wink storytelling. British radio bosses didn't wink back. They put it on the do not play pile with his other big singles. Here's the twist: bands couldn't stop demand. The record still climbed because people passed them hand to hand, jukebox to jukebox, club to club. That's the lesson of Judge Dredd. If you wall off a catchy tune, the tune learns to climb. Question: do you think censorship makes comedy dirtier or just more popular?
A little jack on a...
Big 7 is the most famous of Dredd's cheeky run. It's bawdy, bouncy, and, in the BBC's view, beyond the pale. Yet it still became a hit, which tells you two things about the era. First, tastemakers underestimated what regular listeners could handle. Second, reggae's UK audience was already big enough to lift a track without national airplay. If you grew up in that time, you remember hearing this not on Radio 1, but at parties, in market stalls, and blasting from someone's car with the windows down. Question: when a song is too much for radio but huge in real life, who should set the standard? The station or the street? Junior Mervin's falsetto floats like smoke over Lee Scratch Perry's tense, echoing groove. It's a warning and a prophecy. Police and thieves in the street. And everybody knew exactly which streets. In the heat of Jamaica's 1976 state of emergency, the country's two main stations, JBC and RJR, banned the single. But the message wouldn't sit quiet. It roared out of sound systems, crossed the Atlantic to Notting Hill, and then ricocheted back as the Clash's cover. The band proved the point. If you try to mute a siren, the city just learns to listen harder. Question: does protest music work best when it's poetic, like this, or when it names names?
You're in the middle and you build up your party.
Some songs don't just get banned, they get surgically removed. In apartheid-era South Africa, the authorities targeted Tosh's Apartheid so directly that local reissues of his album Equal Rights came out with the track missing.
Dig out me diamond. We are go fight.
Labels literally rearranged the album to hide the gap. Think about that. To stop a 4-minute truth, the system recut vinyl and cassette masters. And still the word traveled through exiles, bootlegs, student unions, late-night radio outside the border.
You're in a Milan, handing down
meaning just.
That's the power of a song that says the quiet part out loud. Question: have you ever hunted down a censored version of an album just to hear what they tried to erase?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Never mind. Legalize.
Tosh wrote an anthem that was part policy paper, part prayer. In Jamaica it was banned, but he answered like a strategist. He printed the full lyrics in the newspaper so the public could hear the song in print. It's a perfect example of how artists outthink censors. Change the format, keep the message. Musically, it's gentle and insistent. A lazy skank, a soft harmonica, a chorus you can't unhum. Politically, it's bold, medical, moral, and personal arguments, all in one verse. Nearly 50 years later, the world has moved closer to his view. Proof that a banned song can become policy over time. Question: what line in Legalize It still hits you hardest today, and why? If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.
One good thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain.
Quick challenge: how many 1971 reggae classics can you name before the bass line gives them away? In this countdown, we'll uncover the festival winner that ruled the island, the organ-driven smash that shocked the UK, the street anthem that became a shield, and the hope song that steadied a nation. The stories behind them are even bigger than the hooks. Press play, turn up the lows. Let's step into 1971.
Your heart is your heart, and your thoughts is your thoughts. So
there's a calm power in Horace Andy's voice. He doesn't push, he lets the message land. See a man's face is simple wisdom sung like a prayer. People show who they are if you look closely. The Studio One rhythm moves like a steady walk. Bass firm, guitar relaxed, organ warm in the background.
for your heart is your heart, and your thoughts is your
That easy tempo lets Andy stretch his lines and make every word feel lived in. This is where his smoky tenor starts to sound like a guide, not just a singer. Listen to how the melody glides. No rush, no tricks. The beauty is in restraint. You can picture a small room, a single mic, and a singer who trusts the song.
but you don't see his heart. You see
The groove is soft, but the message is steel. It's the kind of record a selector drops early to tune the room, or late to settle it, and it hints at the roots direction the whole scene is about to take. More space, more weight, more truth.
never take it to heart.
Engagement. When did this tune first click for you? On a vinyl reissue, a YouTube rabbit hole, or from an elder's sound system? What line from the lyric still rings true in your life today?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
In this cut, you hear the Crown Prince becoming the Crown Prince. Dennis Brown is still young, but his voice already carries an old soul's ache. The rhythm is classic Studio One, a patient bass line you can hum after one play, drums that never show off, and horns that answer Dennis like a friend in the next room. It's a love song on the surface, but underneath it's about choice. Do you go with feeling or caution? That push and pull gives the track its lift. Dennis sings like he's thinking out loud. He never forces the high notes. He leans into them. That gentleness is why people connected with him across generations. The song also points to a bigger story. Reggae taking soul's tenderness and shaping it into something distinctly Jamaican. By the last chorus, you're not just hearing a teen talent, you're hearing a voice that will anchor the decade. Which Dennis era owns your heart? The raw Studio One years, or the polished anthems later on? What's your first rewind moment from this track? The opening line, the horn reply, or the final chorus? Ken Booth makes longing sound strong. This mid-tempo gem is built on a steady drum and bass pocket, with organ and guitar circling the vocal like a soft light. Booth doesn't belt, he glows. The lyric can read like a personal wish, but it felt bigger in the early 70s, Jamaica balancing hope and tension.
Sometimes I try to remember.
He carries both in his tone. The hurt is there, but so is dignity. The song also hints at where reggae will flow in the mid-70s, toward smoother textures and lovers' moods, without losing its backbone. Booth's baritone sits right in the center of the mix, confident and kind. It's the sound of a singer who can hold the dance with emotion alone.
Sometimes I try to remember.
You don't need flash when the melody is this sure of itself. Do you hear this more as a love plea or as a wider prayer for the times? If you were building a Calm the Room reggae playlist, where would you place this cut? And what would you play before and after it? Alton Ellis brought class to every era he touched. With Black Man's Pride, the Rocksteady King steps into roots with a clear message: dignity, history, and self-respect. The band keeps it unadorned. Solid drum, anchoring bass, chords that leave space for the words. That space matters. It lets Ellis's velvet tone carry a firmer stance without turning stiff. The softness of his voice makes the message land deeper. This track sits at a crossroads. The sweetness of the 60s meeting the consciousness of the 70s. You hear how reggae would speak to identity and community without losing melody. Ellis doesn't lecture, he invites. By the last refrain, it feels like a banner raised, not a sermon. It's one of those records that can start a conversation in any yard, any decade. What other Alton songs feel like bridges between eras for you? When you first heard this one, did the message or the melody hook you first? And why? Heartbreak has a sound, and Freddie McKay found it. The rhythm moves slow and heavy, like carrying news you don't want to say out loud. McKay's voice breaks in the right places, never for show, always for truth. You can imagine the selector dropping the needle, the first chorus landing hard, and a quick pull-up because the crowd needs to feel that opening again.
But my heart cries out to know this.
It's a tune that can hush a loud yard. What makes it powerful is the balance. The band stays steady while the singer falls apart. That tension, unshaken rhythm, breaking heart, is classic Jamaican storytelling. The lyric paints one picture, a photo that holds everything that's gone. But the performance paints another, a man trying to stand while the memory pulls him down. It's catharsis in 3 minutes and change. Be honest, do you let this one play all the way through, or do you rewind the first chorus like the rest of us? Which version or pressing did you grow up with, and whose set made you fall in love with it? Three voices, one heartbeat. The heptones glide over this rhythm like they were born inside it. Leroy Sibbles at the center with that calm, steady tone. Earl Morgan and Barry Llewellyn locking the harmony so tight the chords feel like sunlight through a window.
I'm free at last.
The bass line steps forward, unhurried but sure, and the drums keep a crisp pocket that invites you to sway without thinking about it. Freedom Line is more than a title. It's a promise. The lyrics point to movement, out of trouble, toward dignity, while the melody keeps your spirits up. It's classic early 70s Kingston, soulful, spacious, built for both yard dances and quiet rooms.
Find the freedom line.
What makes it special is balance. The heptones carry sweetness without becoming soft, spirituality without sermon. You can hear Studio One's schooling in the structure, the way the groove breathes, the way the organ cushions the lines. But you can also hear a group growing into a roots era that demanded more message alongside melody.
Love is the answer.
Put on headphones and listen to how the harmonies rise on the last word of a phrase. Every lift feels like a small door opening. Which heptone's harmony moment gives you chills in this tune? And if you had to introduce a new listener to the trio with one song, would you pick Freedom Line or go earlier and rougher?
Let the power from Zion fall on I.
Power here isn't just volume, it's spirit, community, and the courage to speak plain. Max Romeo sings like a man calling out across a field, sure that someone will answer. The groove is lean, bass up front, drums unblinking, guitar skanks that flash and fade like a signal. It's a rallying song, but it never loses the human voice inside the chant.
Oh, let the power from Zion fall on.
That's Romeo's gift, turning a mass slogan into a personal prayer. You can hear why this record traveled beyond the dance and into the street. It feels built for call and response, built for hands in the air, built for a chorus bigger than any one person.
Burning flames for right. Let the wicked.
Listen to the way the hook returns, firm but never angry, and how the verses keep their feet on the ground. The production leaves space, which lets the crowd in. That's the secret. Space in the music becomes space for people. This is roots with teeth and heart. Music that can stiffen your back and soften your face at the same time.
Let the power fall on I. Oh, let the
When you first heard this, did you catch it on a Roots compilation or from an elder who knew the story behind it? And in today's world, what does power in this chorus mean to you? Politics, spirit, or both? A warm weather shower in song form. Bruce Ruffin brings a silky tenor and a pop singer's phrasing to a reggae rhythm that glides rather than grinds. You can hear the UK influence, the strings, the radio-ready sheen. But underneath is a true JA pulse, bass moving in gentle waves, rim shots tidy and precise.
Every drop of rain, I can hear you call.
Ruffin was a bridge figure, able to carry Jamaica's feel into British charts without losing the music's center. Rain is proof. The hook lands soft, but it sticks. By the second chorus, you're humming it without trying. This is Trojan-era crossover at its best. Clean edges, golden tone, and a melody that makes even sadness feel light on the shoulders. Some purists turn their noses up at the Polish. Others heard a doorway for reggae to meet new ears. Either way, the craft here is undeniable. Each line is shaped to sit perfectly on the beat, and the arrangement leaves no rough corners but keeps a living groove. Do you lean roots and rugged, or do you have a soft spot for these glossy UK cuts? Which version of Rain hit you first? On oldies radio, a Trojan box set, or a DJ's quiet last hour selection? This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials, headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy. Automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise cancelling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. A sing-along with a spine. Greyhound take a civil rights lyric and pour it into a rolling reggae beat that feels built for the whole block to join. The chorus is simple and huge, the kind you can teach a crowd in seconds, and the band keeps everything bright. Springy guitar chops, buoyant bass, horns that smile. But listen closer, and you'll hear steel in the optimism.
It turns my night.
The words point to justice with plain language, no lecture needed. That's how this version worked its way into the UK charts and into memory. It made a big idea easy to hold. Greyhound were part of the Windrush era story. Jamaican sound and British life meeting in studios and on dance floors.
It turns my night.
You can hear that blend. Island groove, London gloss, a confidence that says this music belongs on mainstream radio without changing its heartbeat. It's community music, built for voices raised together.
The world is white, it turns by day.
When you sing that chorus, do you hear schoolyard nostalgia or protest fire, or both? And which cut do you spin next to lift the same feeling? Double barrel, liquidator, or something newer? Sunshine, bottled. Bob Andy and Marcia Griffiths fit together like 2 sides of one smile. His warm baritone steady as the ground, her bright soprano tracing the melody like a kite. Pied Piper takes a familiar pop tune and gives it the Jamaican sway it always wanted. Bass lazy and happy, drums skipping forward, keys and strings shining without glare.
I'll show you where it's at.
It's a feel-good masterclass. The sort of record that makes a room kinder just by existing. What lifts it beyond nice is the conversation between the voices. They don't just trade lines, they lean on each other. Marcia's lift turns the hook into air. Bob's calm anchors it. That unity is the message. Follow the music. Let it lead you out of your mood and into the dance.
And I'll show you where it's at.
It's also a chapter in a bigger story. Reggae showing it could reinterpret pop, not just cover it. Give it a new body, a new temperature, a new walk. Which Bob and Marcia track do you reach for first? This one or Young, Gifted and Black? And when you play Pied Piper, do you go for a UK pressing, a JA single, or a streaming remaster? This is reggae built on a proverb and delivered with a grin. The pioneers take a Bible line, let your yea be yea, and turn it into a call and response hook that anyone can sing after one listen. The groove is easy and confident, bass stepping forward like a friend, guitar chops bright as morning, drums keeping the dance honest.
You better let your
What makes it work is the blend of sweet voices and straight talk. It's a reminder to be clear, be truthful, and keep your word. Yet it never feels heavy. The melody is pure sunshine, and the chorus moves like a crowd leaning toward the mic together. In dances, this one doesn't just play to people, it plays with them. Do you remember the first time you shouted that "yeah be yeah" back at the speakers? If you were running a sound tonight, would you drop this early to warm the floor or late to lock the sing-along? A festival winner that never left the island's heart, or the world's. Cherry O Baby is all about a timeless melody floating over a comfortable mid-tempo sway. Eric Donaldson's voice sits right in the pocket, light, playful, and sincere. The lyric is simple, an open love call, but the phrasing is what sticks. Every line lands like a smile you can hear. The rhythm section keeps it unhurried, letting the chorus bloom again and again until it feels like part of your own memory. That's why the song traveled so well later. Rock bands and reggae revivalists could cover it, but they always had to chase this original glow. This is Community in a Chorus, Sweetness Without Sugar. Which version lives in your head? The festival era original or a later cover you met first? If you've got a favorite pressing or mix, tell us where you found it and why that one hits different. I Am the Magnificent. And with that, the room belongs to the record. Double Barrel is a lightning bolt. Organ riffs punching clean holes in the air while a DJ rides shotgun with swagger and jokes.
Yeah, 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 baby.
It's half instrumental showcase, half party MC, and all adrenaline. The beat is crisp and bouncy. The bass line hops with a drummer's grin. The organ tone is so fat it feels like a second heartbeat.
Your thing, baby, your thing. On a twin spin, baby.
You can hear sound system DNA all over it. Built to cut through chatter, built to make feet move, built to jump radio fences. It's also a snapshot of reggae's fearless play in 1971. Musicians and toasters inventing in real time, trusting a hook and a vibe to crash the charts.
Good God!
What's your pull-up moment on this one? The opening catchphrase, the first organ stab, or that stop-start break in the middle? And where did you first meet it? Radio, jukebox, or a selector with a wicked sense of timing? Here is patience turned into a prayer. Delroy Wilson doesn't shout the message, he steadies it. The groove is unblinking, bass firm, drums measured, guitar strokes like quiet breaths. Over that, Delroy carries a melody that feels like holding someone's hand in hard times.
I take a ride sometimes.
The words are few, but they carry weight. Hope is not a theory here, it's fuel. In a tense moment for Jamaica, this record lived as both comfort and compass, and that's why it became bigger than a tune. It became a mood people could lean on. Delroy's tone is the key. Soft edges, iron center. You believe him because he sounds like a man who has already waited, already seen storms, and still chooses light. When did this song first mean something personal to you? A hard year, a family story, a dance where the whole yard went quiet? If you play it today, what tracks do you pair with it to keep the hope alive?
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
everyone go now. Trenchtown rock, I'll never turn my back. Trenchtown rock.
A street anthem turned world language. Trenchtown rock is toughness and joy in the same breath. Drums popping like quick steps on hot pavement, bass rolling like a low tide, guitars flicking sparks, and a chorus that feels carved into stone.
In Kingston 12 yard. In Kingston 12.
The famous line, "One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain," isn't poetry for show. It's lived truth. The record carries the energy of a band taking full control of its sound, pressing its own label, speaking from its own block. You can hear zinc fences and corner laughter. You can hear warning and welcome. It's pride without apology and survival without self-pity. That's why it sits at the top. It captures a whole way of standing up in the world and sets it to a beat anyone can move to. What's the first memory this brings back? Dance hall speakers rattling? A family cookout? Or a headphones moment that changed your day? And if you had to choose one Wailers single from '71 to time capsule for the next century, is it this? Or would you argue for another? If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.